I loved it. And when I walked up that room on my own the first time, I was, don't stumble, don't trip, don't do it. Just get it right, do it. And you can't rush it too much and don't be too slow. Yeah, when I did it, I felt I'd achieved something. I really did, because I've never done anything like that before.
Really wonderful that, again, dance and moving bodies of all different kinds are present in this work, and that feels something to be celebrated.
Most of us have never done this sort of thing before.
Fantastic text. I'd never read anything quite like it, so I was really intrigued.
What are you gawping at?
Being at a mum anymore and cooking and cleaning and everything else that comes with it, getting the kids to school, and it was just somewhere that I could go just for me. It's my happy place.
Is this a haunting? Are we ghosts? Tears in the fabric. Little condensed pellets of all the poison and the bad that happened here in this club.
I work in construction manager. Bev works for NHS. We're both quite stressful lives, along with 4 children. So it was just making time for us.
Well, we were at a tea dance before lockdown, I think it was, wasn't it? And they asked for volunteers to help with this production, you see. So we volunteered.
Imagine if they told me you were dead. Say it took place somewhere else, off sea, and out of sight, out of mind. The account of the death of a lover, and how that cleft a body, my body, into parts. I cannot say if these parts have come back together since.
People get the wrong impression of the arts. They think it's for highbrow people and not for them. It's for everybody, it's for everyone. And if we involve the community in a production like this, it shows that it's for everybody.
I think it stretches you, fetches the inner side out of you as well.
Yeah, it's interesting to see what happens and how it's produced as well.
I think it's very nice to use people that aren't used to stepping out of their comfort zone and doing something that they wouldn't normally do. Just regular dancers that are just coming to normal classes. Usually I do a lot of projects that deal with professional dancers, so this is nice to be different, to work with people that just come to classes and have fun.
It was one of the most exciting times in my life. It was, because I felt, wow.
You are
Present.
to me,
Now.
absent though you are,
Present.
in your blazing self,
Though surely gone.
secure in here,
Chattering away in here.
filling this brimful with occasions. Without you, I could not be.
My first, my one and only.
Well, it made me feel special. It really made me feel special. Like I was a star.
I conjure you.
What we're interested in is bringing together the combination of different skills and different kinds of theatrical material, musical material, choreographic material. So as a company, we've always been interested in sort of jamming together different kinds of material. And what's wonderful about working with both Viva Dance and with Preston's People's Choir is the fact that they're bringing completely different skill sets to Bodies in Flight, and we hopefully are bringing some different skill sets to them.
It was exciting because it was something new, something we had never done before, something to do outside of our normal choir settings and within the community of Preston. And what first comes into my mind is respectful. And I felt they valued what we brought to the table.
I think I'm more Wilkes than Cha-Cha.
Really? Oh, okay then.
I think it's the speed of it. It's just something that gets your heart rate going, it makes you feel more energised, and it just makes you happier.
There was no dancing. First lockdown, there was nothing. Everything died. I probably would have been rocking in a corner if it hadn't been for what they'd been kept doing. I work from home and I live on my own, and I was very isolated.
It opened the audience. It made it more real and brought it home to them. So I think it did have a big impact on people's thoughts and the way that people attacked life, whether it was through dance or if they didn't have an interest in dance, it just opened their eyes up to possibly make them think on what they had been missing or ways to help them get through life.
I felt they treasured what they treasured the stories they have been told.
Space was the big challenge, really. Up and down the kitchen, round and round the conservatory, up and down the hall.
Because we did keep dancing throughout the first lockdown.
I think it's unique in that although each of the components is something which might be familiar to the people who come to see this performance, they won't necessarily have experienced them being combined in this way, and the relationships that are created between the different disciplines and also between the professional and the amateur performers who were involved.
Once we were more or less able to sing the harmonies right, I felt that it was all right and it didn't have to be perfect, and it still, out of my view, sounded pretty good, and I still have part of the song, I can hear it, so which I find surprising.
You know, I think through all this time, I got you wrong.
You thought I was your rock.
But now,
Suddenly,
this evening,
across this room,
I see you are not that.
What they bring is that when they're performing, they're always there as themselves. They're not playing a part. So whether they're dancing, whether they're carrying out some other activity, whether they're just stood on stage or sat at one of the tables, they're always there as themselves within this piece. So they're not, they're bringing themselves, their real selves, to the performance.
Well, these guys are used to dancing together, and they're used to the technical accomplishment of putting a dance together, but actually putting it into a different context, a performance context, putting it in front of an audience is a whole different set of skills, and I think it helps to kind of elevate in some small way their real skills and their lives, and that's what this is about. It's putting a new frame around their everyday lives.
How can the trains run when you have not yet got out of bed?
Or how can research institutes the whole world wide bother about the future when you've not yet made up your mind?
Each time I am with you,
The world gets made up.
made up anew,
A new world,
like the old.
but true. And this new world.
It sings for you in
Stop.
your new. Thank you, Morven. So soon as she passes you.
how can the trains run when you have not yet got out of bed?
Or how can research institutes the whole world wide bother about the future when you've not yet made up your mind?
Each time I'm with you,
The world gets made up.
made up anew,
A new world,
like the old.
but true. And this new world
It sings for you in a new key each time.
shines a brand new colour that only existed in my mind before then.
It spills over.
Starts everything up again.
With every breath.
If you get into muscle memory, then you're doing it without thinking, and then you can enjoy more of the music. We dance for enjoyment.
Their level of focus and concentration, being asked to repeat things again and again and again to get them right. Sarah's very meticulous, very generous, but very meticulous with what she wants, very clear. But they've been incredible, their energy and what they've given to the project overall.
And that's what we want at the end. You know, we want the only moment where everyone is moving together all at the same time to be that climax, that end of the show.
It felt natural in a way. It wasn't as if you were following a script and you were forced to do something. It was something that just kind of felt natural that you were doing.
I think the more people see live performances, the more intrigued and the possibility of people joining in and wanting to get involved with doing a particular side of it.
They bring a freshness, they bring a willingness. They're prepared to step forward and work with a company who they didn't know beforehand, and yet here we are, we have a show.
I'm not saying that me and Betty don't have a row, but
as a writer, I'm particularly interested in this idea of oral histories and reminiscences sitting alongside a specially written, constructed text. And I like the jamming together of those two things.
We met at a dance, my husband and I. Now you're going back a long while, because we've been married 59 years. We met on Christmas Eve at Codner Welfare in Derbyshire. And it was a big hall, packed it was. And anyway, the teacher that we didn't know her then, but the teacher that was in charge of this dance put people together and took you around and then stopped halfway around and put you with somebody, and she happened to put me with Ray. And that was how we started dancing.
Miss Recognition's all sloshing around in this flimsy envelope of skin.
A draft, masquerading as a self.
It felt more interactive rather than going and sitting and watching something. Now maybe that was because of where it was and the fact everybody was round the outsides, but it did feel a little bit more inclusive than going to see a show on stage.
we didn't realise what went on. It was so involved. And Sarah, having to teach us, she's been a rock, and really has been a rock to us.
I think it made them feel important because they were doing it to an audience, which we have never done before.
It was successful, first of all, that our choir as a whole, that they were willing to learn something so challenging.
It's just putting something out there that people hopefully enjoy. And you can see that they are enjoying it with the way they participate back, whether it's just clapping for appreciation or whether it's actually physically joining in with something that they may have seen within that show.
We would like to invite you all to join us on the dance floor. Maestro! Square. Step into the middle.
it gave me more patience and to keep trying no matter what, which is doing me in good stead now. So you've done me the biggest favour. And all I can say is, well done.